Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Just Dudes Being Guys. This is your host, Dylan.
Hi.
As well with Reid.
This is the other host.
Yeah. We've upgraded our names to hosts now, so I feel special.
We were special guests for a time, but I mean, we figured that since we're on it...
We're always special.
Yeah, my parents think, they tell me I'm special every day. I wake up and I say, hey mom, hey dad, like, damn it, this kid's special.
Same with my mom. She goes, you're a special child. But instead of every day, it's like every other hour. She's got to really reinforce that positive energy in the world of me being a special child.
Yeah. So yeah, we just figure that we're good enough to be the hosts. Probably not.
Of our own show that we've been producing for 7 episodes now.
We're kind of like the guest, like special guests for the whole time. And the host forgot to show up, so then it's like, oh, well, we gotta do it now.
Yeah, we took the bull by the balls and decided, fuck it, let's go.
We took the bull by the balls, and the bull's probably not gonna like it, so he's probably just gonna wind up running us over and maiming us, so.
Hey.
That wasn't a metaphor, that's just what happens, I think, when you grab a bull by the balls.
Something that I remembered. Can you please tell me your dad joke again? This dad joke, guys.
Alright, so...
Fucking amazing.
So, we're sitting...
And he doesn't even have a child yet.
Didn't I already said this. Didn't I on the podcast?
No, I don't think so.
No,
because you just told Spencer and I after you got back from Koizi.
Oh, okay. So, we're at Koizi, which is this all-you-can-eat sushi place. And Andrew's looking for a nickname for his little, because his fraternity, the Kappa Sigma fraternity on St. Leo just got chartered. And congratulations to them. And he's looking up Spanish nicknames, and because his little is Hispanic, so I mean that makes sense. And he's trying to come up with all these names, and he stumbles upon what he thinks is one of the greatest nicknames ever, which is Chief. Now the problem that me and Spencer had with Chief was that you could just say, "Hey, what's up, Chief?" and the guy could respond, "Oh, what's up, boss?" And like, it's a typical nickname for guys. Now, we were trying to help him with coming up with different names, and so...
Pussy shit.
Yeah, and...
the burp, by the way.
that would be another pretty good nickname.
Pussy shit.
To have to put that
So pussy shit.
And then have to be forced to put that on the back of a t-shirt.
Would that be considered hazing?
I don't know. Depends if the person feels like it's being mean or not. Oh yeah, what a name. But anyway, so we're sitting there like helping him like trying to come up with a name, and he's like, yeah, I just don't want it to be anything cheesy. So I just look dead at Spencer. I go, well, I guess that rules out queso. And that's it.
Fucking humdinger.
And then at that point, after I said that, and Spencer gave me a high five for it, just for the quality of the terribleness of it. I said, I'm ready for fatherhood.
Somebody needs to come have this man's baby. He is ready. He's got his white New Balances.
They're in the mail right now. They're on their way.
He's got actually jorts.
Fun fact, those New Balances are going to come with the fresh mowed green lawn stain already on them. So,
oh, dude. Somebody come fucking have this man's child.
I'm gonna have like the 3-button collared shirts. I'm gonna have the jeans, the leather belt, the New Balance shoes.
You gotta have like the rag Little League hat.
Yeah.
From which you played from.
Or like no, the Little League hat. Prime. The Little League hat that I helped coach, I helped coach a Little League team. And then
jorts.
Either jorts or jeans. It's really about it.
Or some khakis.
Yeah.
Like you gotta go. If you want to be the serious coach, you gotta go that Jim Harbaugh khaki look. Khaki and sweaters.
If I want to be serious, if it's serious business or like a formal night, then I'll put on some khakis. Otherwise, it's just jorts or jeans. It's really all you gotta do.
He slays in the bed with his New Balances on. He doesn't take them off. He knows his dad powers are going to go away if he takes them off.
And like, we're not talking about like to lose the dad powers. We're not talking about like 3 different pairs of the different kinds of New Balances, like maybe like the little bit stylish ones with like the old like long yard work dad ones.
He's like
I'm talking
the
about
same,
three.
The same 3 white ones. One's got like a fresh mowed lawn scent. One's got the mowed lawn stain, and one's perfectly brand new.
Yeah, it's like different degrees of used and like yard work. One never, one sometimes, and one like every single time.
Oh God, I feel like you'd hand out a dad jokes book whenever your son finally becomes a man.
Oh no, I'm gonna like for Halloween. I think one year I'm gonna hand out like, well, probably like, give him like some like candy, but like also like give him a fortune cookie. And it's gonna have like a dad joke inside. Like each one's gonna have like
make your own dad fortunes.
Yeah.
Chinese restaurants need to venture into this before we do.
Yeah.
Because this is a fucking gold mine. Dad joke fortune cookies.
Or like in a batch of fortune cookies, like one of them's a dad joke, just so like when you get it and you read it, you're like,
It's so sad and crippling.
But like
filled with depression that you just gotta giggle.
But for all the dads, they'd be like, "Oh damn, I got the jackpot."
Add this to the collection, boys. Saying this at the family reunion.
None of this dumb inspirational crap. We got some quality jokes right here.
Dad
jokes
are the best dad jokes.
So we just came inside from going outside, and for those of you who know us, it's quite a shocker considering that we didn't have to do any intramurals or anything active.
It was us deciding, do we want to wither away inside or wither away outside where it's pretty?
And the air's a little bit fresher.
Yeah, it gets kind of stale in here.
And it's just St. Leo air conditioning. And also, well, just the way things go. But anyway.
I give St. Leo a thumbs up on air conditioning on Yelp.
I think they use a star system. That doesn't...
Exactly. Exactly. They get a thumbs up.
But, so we're watching our friend... play in a kickball game, and this one kid, we actually have
Top Gun.
Right, we're just gonna call him Top Gun.
Top Gun. He's a true champ in the world.
And we have a class with him, but like the reason we call him Top Gun is, well, the armed service that is associated with Top Gun, the Air Force. And he's in Air Force
trying
ROTC.
to go out to be that.
And also,
be the pilot of America.
What makes it more Top Gun like is, you know how there's that gay, almost like super gay, like shirtless, oiled up volleyball montage somewhere in the film. Yeah, like emphasis on the gay. That's like kind of what stands out.
Imagine a person with a corn cob shoved as far up your rectum as anatomically possible, and then trying to run around bases. That is... put that picture in your mind, people. That is Top Gun.
Yeah, that pretty much sums him up. And like, he couldn't really catch for the life of him. One time,
the ball's the size of a fucking beach ball.
And
it's coming at you at like 5 miles an hour, if that.
There's one time it hit all 10 fingertips, and it somehow bounced out of his hand. But he did catch one, and the way he caught it is he took the ball, and when it hit his gut, he not only like clamped the ball on the top and bottom like as if he was getting a handoff, but also he threw his leg up as if to like fully.
Zingers.
Damn it.
Zingers coming to you from Dylan.
This is why I can't tell stories anymore. But he, like, when he's got the ball there, he throws his leg up as if to, like, fully cradle the
ball.
Like
he was in the fetal position while standing up.
Right. And that's how he caught one of two. Another one, it hit his arms, and then it went between his legs, and he missed it, and he almost tripped on it. And
I was so hoping that he would, he fumbled it, and then the ball hit his, shins. I was so hoping it would get stuck underneath his foot, and he just eat shit.
Yeah.
It's not like he doesn't eat shit already.
Oh my god.
Classic.
We're going to get letters. I would say we get letters, but really nobody's going to, write to us and say that that was over the top. If anything, when I get home, my parents gonna be like,
they're just gonna give them a disappointed sigh and then just leave them alone.
probably. They might just say, oh, okay, that was a little much, and then probably move on. Because my parents.
But there are some things that you can't move on from. Prime example is last night, Spencer's friend came over for a visit, and we were talking about high school related topics and stories. And one thing that I for sure can't move on from is what I witnessed in high school in the middle of the hallway. Now, given I went to a public high school in the middle of the cornfield, so education standards are very low, and everybody's horny as fuck all the time. And to put that little bit of information out there underestimates how much it happened.
I mean, you're in the middle of a cornfield, so it's like you got free dildos for everyone, right?
True. You know, he's gotta go pick out that ripe corn cobs.
Hell, even
One
like
of the
a
poop, one of the
one of the poop from the poop. But you just got. I would figure just before it's like ripe, so like it's still like a little bit extra hard. So like so you don't get like kernels like stuck.
Oh God, man. What is this, fucking squirrel feeder hardness? No, yeah, we don't have squirrel feeders to feed the squirrels. Let's put it into that context. But no, it's one of the more cringier things I've seen or witnessed in my life in an education institution. But I was in like freshman year, and down in the ag hallway, nobody really goes down there unless you're in the ag department, which is like 20 kids out of like 600. And just in the middle of the hallway, no, it wasn't in the middle of the hallway, was it? Yes, it was in the middle of the hallway.
I wasn't there, so don't look at me.
In the middle of the hallway, these two girls, freshmen, like younger than me, so I must have been a sophomore, started scissoring in the middle of the hallway on a trash can. Like full blown, just fucking just going at it. Just V'ing the shit out of each other. You hear the lockers hitting, you see the trash cans spill over. Like, it is primal pussy slapping like you've never heard before in your life. Like, and Lily has this thing where, like, I don't know how girls can enjoy that. There's nothing that gets out of it. It doesn't matter. These two bitches were fucking going at it.
It was working for them.
Yeah, they were excited to be doing it. Let's just say that. But, like, these two girls just fucking bang, bang, bang. It sounded like Tom Breen from TNT whenever Steph Curry drops a three-pointer. Bang! Bang!
God.
Hitting it from deep!
Oh, fuck.
But no, that's just one of the great stories from my high school. My high school is so fucked up, man.
Quick shout out to Spencer. It's his 21st birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Spencer!
Today, all day actually was his birthday.
It's been his birthday since like 9 p.m. last night, let's be honest.
True. But, yeah, all day, today.
Everybody, please shout out Spencer on Facebook or our comment section. Happy birthday. It's his 21st.
March 22nd.
Pray that he doesn't...
March 22nd, write it down in everyone's calendar. Spencer.
Pray that he doesn't
Spencer
get alcohol poisoning.
Spencer from the podcast's birthday. And if it's not Spencer from the podcast's birthday, I'm going to be really disappointed. The only excuse you have is if you actually know him. And you know his last name.
But, yeah. Happy birthday, Spencer. But back to my high school. My high school is really messed up. I've told Reid so many stories about my high school. And, like, the things, like... He went to a nice private Christian school.
I did. In the middle of... In, like, a pretty good part of Cary, North Carolina. It was down the road from, like, one of the top country clubs in Cary. And it was actually a really nice place. And
yeah, so he went to an upscale nice place, and then he got stuck with me, who's from BFE, cornfield, people scissoring in the hallways type of school. This kid was raised in God's light. I was raised in Satan's spitwater.
That's one way to put it. I definitely had a much better
much healthier education.
and a much healthier upbringing.
Hey, now I had a good upbringing. It's just the people around me.
See,
was very odd.
See, the only time I was ever exposed to something that was horrid was outside of church, because I went there a lot as a kid, and outside of high school or outside of my school, because I went to it was a K through 12 school, so I went there all the time, and we went to this one school, and a lot of schools we played football, because we played 8-man football. Yes, everyone, get out of your system. 8 people on the field, not 11. Woohoo. I'm different. Some of the schools were in the middle of nowhere. And by nowhere, I mean you drive at least an hour and a half, and then when your cell phone stops working, take the next left, and then all of a sudden houses pop up out of nowhere, and there's a town, and then you go play the high school there.
Please, I was 2.5 hours from a mall.
Yeah, it was kind of like that.
We were the biggest town in 100-mile radius.
You had to
and we were 9,000 people.
Yeah, and you had to pass 10 cotton fields, maybe 15 if you went to Northeast, which is almost in Virginia. And some of the language there was pretty bad. I think I've heard someone say nigger one time. Actually, a couple times.
Spicy words there.
Yeah, country folks don't really mess around sometimes.
And we're not trying to be insulting people. This is just what we heard on a daily basis.
One time before a football game, this wasn't anything profane. It's just straight up weird. So we're warming up, and this guy's sitting on the back of his truck, perfectly normal for some of these schools, and we're warming up and stretching, but he's not on the side for in football you stretch on each perspective half, any sort of field, and he's banging deer antlers together. Now, for us not really being the most country team, one team that was less country is St. David's, and that was in the middle of it was in a really nice part of Raleigh, and it was super preppy kids. We're talking about pastel colors, board shorts, and Sperry's. It was the normal thing.
Pretty people.
Yeah.
As what my dad would call them.
Well, some of them were pretty, I guess. Not really all of them. But anywho, we were slightly confused as to why he was banging deer antlers at us. He was
city folks meet the countryside.
He was sitting down on the tailgate, bouncing up and down, just banging the deer antlers together. We're just kind of staring at him. We're going under our breath. You just hear people every now and then in the lines going, "What the fuck is going on? What the hell is he doing?"
It's whenever Michael from accounting meets Bubba.
Right. So that's about...
That's about the weirdest of his high school. That barely picks a scab off of what my high school was.
Those are some of the weirder things that I can remember, but...
A great thing, though, about my high school was our sex ed classes. They were fantastic because our teachers didn't give a shit, and we ended up having 8 pregnancies in my senior year. Fantastic group of children we were.
Yeah.
But everybody graduated. Thank God for that. But everybody just, I don't know.
Yeah, you told us that last night, and apparently one of them was planned.
Yeah, it was planned. So that was how can you plan that? But that's whatever.
Or why would you want to when you could probably live a little before? But
yeah, but
some people want to do things.
The sex ed class, it was fantastic. The teacher's name was Barb. Barb was the best, and she said, "I want you guys to say penis and vagina as much as you want because those are okay terms to say." And so she starts asking the questions, and she said at the beginning of class, if you answer them correctly with penis or vagina, you get a bag of candy or a candy bar or whatever. And the very first question she asks is, sex occurs when the vagina is penetrated with, nobody is answering anything, They know what it is. They know damn well a penis goes inside of a vagina.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to answer it because we're horny 15-year-olds that don't know what to do with themselves. And this kid...
Except for scissoring in the hallway.
Dude, those 14-year-olds knew where they were at. But,
I think that's why they didn't answer. They're confused. It's like, wait a minute. 10 minutes ago.
No.
10 minutes ago, I just watched something completely different from what you're saying.
And this kid's sitting in the back of the classroom, and he just goes, penis! And the teacher just instantly, like, gets into this, like, prone, like, crouching position, points her finger at him, and just yells, penis! And then throws a bag of Skittles at this kid. Like, I've never seen someone get so excited for saying the word penis before. Enough to throw a bag of Skittles at a child. And so for the rest of the class, this kid would just yell penis, 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 and get candy. He was rewarded for his penis. Not in the terms of him actually acting on it.
You whipped it out.
Penis, bitch! You just hear fuck.
So in case, like, so sometimes, like, our microphones cut out. Yeah, so we're making our podcast sound worse than it actually is. Yeah, we have bad equipment. Woohoo! Because we don't have enough money to afford, like, an actual soundboard. So we just went back and listened to that thunk.
And what the thunk was like you whip your dick out and you, like, smack it on a table and you hear a nice thud. Well, I smacked the desk and then the mic just went boom. That noise that you heard. And it was the best sound to interpret what I was trying to get conveyed through that message.
Yeah.
Oh. Sex Ed with Barb is great. I highly recommend if you are if you're not in high school yet and you're listening to this, shame on you.
Why are you listening to us?
But if you are, go to my high school in Alney, Illinois, and get Sex Ed taught to you by Barb. You'll get candy for saying penis. What more could a child want?
If you're in high school, listen to us, tweet at us so we can block you so we don't get in trouble for talking to you. But at my school, let's see, yeah, about the same time, 15 or so years old, and the teacher decided, like, it was going to be an anatomy class because we were going to learn about the reproductive system, and our teacher decided to just skip it because someone, or like one or two kids in the other class were taking it, or like when, like, they mentioned it or whatever, we're going to learn the next, they decided to not take it as seriously and start laughing and, like, made a joke about it for some dumb reason. So then, yeah, I didn't get what's called a formal education.
He just went on Pornhub and learned everything he knew.
No, I went and took an online class. No, I didn't.
These are pictures of wieners.
I went to MIT.
Holy shit.
I went to MIT's online class and learned how to make the sex. You know what I mean? We utilize physics formulas to get
friction occurs when you smash two things together. And damn, was it hot in those sheets?
Technically, not really. Frictions with two surfaces.
Never mind.
No, in my sex ed class, we legitimately watched porn videos.
Damn, son, where'd you find that?
It was, introduce the young child in right-handed Rhonda to Pornhub. And damn, what an adventure you'll have after school.
I wonder how many kids, like, secretly, like, tried to jerk off, like, while playing.
In class?
Like, in class.
Oh, there's probably some weird, there's always some weird albino kid or really white kid that's sitting in the back of the classroom and wears, like, a green shirt. It has, like, some glasses and just sits there and just stares at everybody and you hear in the background. And also you hear since you said jerking off in class, there's actually a kid in my computer class in high school that jerked off in class.
There's a kid who actually got caught watching porn in our computer lab. But here's the thing. So in our computer lab, it's in between the two desks of like the principals, because there's like the middle school hallway one way, and then there's a high school hallway the other way, and in between the two is the computer lab. And so you have like, it's essentially 3 rows of computers. There's one where like your back's kind of like to the common area, like where everyone walks. There's one where you can face everyone, and then another one where your back's to everyone. This kid had it to, he was sitting in the corner with his back to everyone, watching, and this kid was like an exchange student from China or something like that. He was legitimately on a Chinese.
That's because China over there, they restrict your servers. They gotta watch what you do. He comes to America, and
there's so much.
The fucking plethora of porn at his disposal.
The amount of freedom overwhelmed him, so he went straight to porn for some
freedom
reason.
fapping there.
But he was he was legitimately on a Chinese porn site and just watching it or something like that, and they caught him and all that, and that was the last we really ever saw of him.
But no, this kid that was jerking off in class, that's the last we ever saw of him. Fucking deported him back to China. But this kid in my class, we couldn't access any type of like fun website. I think the coolest thing we could do is coolmathgames.com. Classic school website to play games on. But so you couldn't get like anything anywhere close to erotic. I guess you could do Google safe search and take the safe mode off and make it like moderate, so you get like bikini pictures.
Oh,
damn, that bikini looks good.
Wow, but that's actually a really nice color. Yeah.
But this kid, let's just call him Billy, for sake of keeping his name confidential.
That'd be funny if the kid's name's actually Billy.
It's not.
You're just pretending to like, let's call the name Billy. Yeah, Billy, you. Fuck you.
But Billy over here, he's sitting in the corner, and it's not, okay, he's sitting in the middle, there's 3 rows. He's sitting in the middle row, far right side of the classroom. And like, he's not even hiding it, that he's just wanking it. Like, he just sit there in class just like, oh, hi, how you doing? Yeah, it's supposed to rain later today. And the kid just going off. Just staring around the room, just jerking his gherkin in his pants. And all of a sudden, you see him just like tighten up and like start bending over and like, oh God, what's he gonna do? And all of a sudden, and like he just grabs his leg.
No.
And he literally jizzed inside of his own pants. Like Lonely Island jizzed in my pants.
Oh my God.
And you just hear grabs his leg and it's just, and that was it. And then he just like buttoned himself up and then just kept on doing his homework.
Okay, so
don't ever go to that computer, because Lord knows Miss Raymond never cleaned it.
Yeah, if you guys ever wind up in only Illinois, first off, why?
Yeah, why? Please don't go there.
Second off, go somewhere fun. And thirdly,
you can basically fuck in the hallway and jerk off in class and nobody's going to bat an eye. Oh, that's a typical Tuesday, Johnny.
But
what did you do yesterday?
So I guess as far as computers go, one of the coolest things I ever did was my laptop. For some reason, like, because we had being a Christian school, almost on a Puritan level, and those of you who know anything about like Protestantism and like know about the Puritans, they're just like,
fun was not allowed.
They're 2 steps above Amish, and the Amish are just 1 step below a Quaker. So like, we're talking about like the ideal Puritan life is like physical enjoyment. It really isn't looked upon, like, is frowned upon, and like all this stuff.
Smile.
Like, you need to be pure, and like it's really like, because if you can fall into sin and all this stuff. And we had like a pretty strong like filter or something like that. Like, if you went on like a certain website and it was like tagged with something, then it would say, oh, you can't do this because whatever. And one time we searched a website, I think for some science class, and it was like about the human body, and it's like, oh no, for pornography. And we're like, no, that's dumb. But my laptop, for some reason, like, it actually just went around it, and I didn't do anything to the laptop. Like, I connected to the Wi-Fi just fine.
To the deep web. Let's be honest, Reid.
No, actually, we did that on my friend's MacBook during English class. That's another story. So here's let you know of how like unaware I was with all the power that I have with my laptop to go to literally any site I wanted to because it just wasn't getting blocked. I decided in the middle of like my Greek class, because I was always like 4 lessons ahead because I would just finish the entire workbook because I pick up languages really well.
Try hard.
Well, not really try hard. When he's lecturing about the current lesson, I'm just busy like, oh yeah, I know all this stuff that's going to happen. And so, just so you know, it's not like modern Greek. It's literally ancient Greek that was in the Bible, like Koine Greek.
Damn.
Yeah. Talk about
old as fuck.
Yeah, that's talk about special school. And so I'm sitting there in our free time, and of all the things I decided to do, I log on to RuneScape. And
my god.
I go on RuneScape,
my god.
and all I did...
How old are you? Like 16, 17 at this time?
17 probably, almost. I think I might have been 18.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think we should allow him back on. That's like a criminal offense. Getting on RuneScape
I finally
after
get
like
host,
12 years.
I finally get host privileges, and I squander it by telling the story. But yeah, I just did some quests, chopped down trees, sold it, made some bank, and yeah, I played RuneScape during class. But senior year, we had to write this big paper, like 12 to 15 pages, and it was on like whatever topic you chose, but like you had to be able to articulate like your thesis statement was a yes or no question or a thesis question, and you said like are GMO foods bad? So you would say no, they're not. They're no, and then you'd articulate why. You have some reasons from an opposing view, and then you'd kind of show why their argument's wrong. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the year, you'd present in front of a panel of like 3 or 4 faculty members, and they would actually ask you questions after you presented your paper and essentially your argument. So, really, me and my friend Watson, shout out to him out in Sweden. Have fun, buddy. He and I, we didn't really like work as hard as we should have, but I got a good grade. We both got really good grades on it, so it's not like it really was necessary. But we goofed off a little bit from time to time. And by time to time, I mean like out of like every 7 classes, it'd probably be like 4 of them.
Solid.
So just a little bit more than half. One day we decided to browse the darknet on his Mac because, I mean, if it's really hard to mess that up because if it was mine, then it would get loaded with viruses. It would slow down immensely.
Yep,
and
MacBooks
overall just would not do well for my thing.
Apple products are the greatest because you can never get a virus. How do you think I have such a large porn cat library that you don't even know about?
Okay, so
Apple products.
So we go on.
Love you guys. Sponsor us.
We go.
Why should you sponsor us? Porn. It's the only reason I buy your shit.
So we go on there. We browse Hitman. You can hire Hitman. Like you pay half up front. He kills the person that you want. That you hire him to. He'll send a picture of them in like a garbage bag, and then you pay the other half after. There's another one where it's just a list of all these famous people. So it had like the Queen of England, various leaders of different countries, Barack Obama, because he was the president then, and like all these other super important people, and like the Pope. And you would write down a date of when you think they're going to die, and if you got it, then you would receive like this giant pool of money because it's under the assumption that you killed them because you knew when they were going to die. Versus like just blind, stupid luck.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And you could buy cocaine. You could buy...
Dude, you can buy drugs on Craigslist.
It's true.
Go to Sydney, Australia. Melbourne, Australia.
Melbourne, Australia.
And type in ice or cold AC, and you will get prices and like categories and like quality of crack and weed and cocaine, meth, lots of fun stuff on there. So if you want your drugs, go to Melbourne, Australia.
But also you have to enjoy them.
Craigslist.
You have to enjoy them there because their immigration thing's pretty strict. So
let's worry about immigration.
Go there.
Drugs.
Go there for a time. Just have a nice vacation, buy some drugs, and then come back.
Make sure you shove them up your ass.
No, but you can get like the finest white China heroin on the deep web, deep web or darknet. Yeah, those are two names. Cause it's
Silk
kind of
Road. Silk Road. Shout out to you. You guys are shut down now. Actually, I probably shouldn't have shouted that out. We're probably gonna get on a fucking watch list now. Well, it's been nice knowing you guys.
You could buy whatever gun you want. You can legitimately buy a gold-plated Desert Eagle if you really wanted to, and
up that Call of Duty sign.
You could buy a child slave.
You probably buy sex slaves.
I mean, that's usually what they're for. I mean, shout out to all the people who... never mind, I don't want to say that. I was about to say shout out to the people who buy child slaves solely for labor purposes and not sex.
At least you have a little bit of a higher moral ground.
Out of all the scumbags...
You want to instill in them hard work and dedication instead of just, well, time for this dick. It's dicking time, high noon.
No, the real MVP,
I'm sorry, that's awful.
The real MVPs are the ones that buy them and just like, yeah, you're free. I just figured it.
Those are good people. Look at you.
That gets expensive though.
Risking the government to come after your IP address just to help a child out.
Yeah.
You're the real hero. You're the real MVP.
See how I did stuff like that. I was never like, oh, I did like some like...
I bought a hitman. I don't know if he ever carried it out. He kind of just took my $50,000.
I didn't really tell him who to kill. I kind of just said, dealer's choice.
It's a grab bag. Go for it.
It's like the Halloween.
It's like
the Halloween like bucket of candy outside. Like
it's like take one.
Take one. It's like, oh.
No, it's like a guess. It's like the classic Guess Who game. Does he have red hair? No. Does he have glasses? Yes. Damn, I'm onto something. There's only 40 more choices. Oh God. But seriously though, don't go on deep web, Silk Road, darknet.
Yeah,
that shit traces back to you. Unless you can get an IP bouncer.
And also,
you are fucked.
Unless you want to like just completely ruin a computer, then get a Tor browser and then go on the deep web.
I have no laptop that specifically works just the internet and nothing else.
Yeah.
Fun times are ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no.
No. You got a book in.
Yeah. So I got a new book.
So this goes back onto the hit list or blacklist thing that the government probably watches us all on.
So a couple years ago, my dad gave me a book called Disinformation. It was a book by a KGB spy or a guy who worked in the KGB, part of the disinformation branch. And what disinformation is essentially allowing people to leaking false information so they think they got a leg up on you. And so apparently the KGB were really good at this, and they did it a lot. And so he kind of explained what that was and all of that. And now this new book I got I forget what it is, and I don't really want to go get it. But it's about a guy who was a KGB spy from 79 to 88, and he was living in America and operating there with illegal immigration or something like that. So.
Yeah, and so that's probably a book that people don't really in America want you to read. But I have a list of books that I want to buy. 2 of them I already have, but there's some more books, banned books that I want to get. I already have Mein Kampf. I've read it a couple times. Not saying I condone what Hitler did. It's just a propaganda book. That's all it is. It doesn't tell you how he kills the Jews. Just a heads up. Spoiler alert.
Oh, man.
It's just a propaganda book. In all honesty, it's a good propaganda book. In the sense of, it tells you how to take over a country. But then I also have a book from Kutub, which is highly frowned upon here at St. Leo. It's so bad that Reynolds had to get a special authorization to even have the book in his possession in his office here at school.
Wow. And
yeah, I have that book. A couple other ones I want to get. It's Mao's little red book. It's $8 on eBay. It's now a souvenir in China. You can go to a Great Wall souvenir stand and buy it. So yeah, there's just a couple banned books I want to get. Not just for the purpose of just I think the government's gonna be watching me, but it's curiosity, you know?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with reading a book.
Fun fact about my school. So we read the Diary of Anne Frank in 6th grade. 2 or 4 of the pages were ripped out. Now this is why. So apparently there's a part in Anne Frank when she goes up to like her aunt or cousin or someone, whoever she's hiding with, and like they touch each other's breasts or something like that, and my 6th grade teacher just wouldn't have any of that. She didn't want to like ruin our minds. So yeah, we actually ripped out pages of Diary of Anne Frank because fragile 6th grade minds, I guess.
Dude, 7th grade, we read How to Kill a Mockingbird. That's some heavy shit for a 7th grader to read, first of all.
Yeah.
And my teacher's just like, yeah, say every word that's in the book. So 7th graders out here throwing out the N-word constantly. It's just like, oh, that's fantastic. Great way for a little 14-year-old to have.
Yeah. Actually, in Supreme Court class I took sophomore year of college, not high school, we were going over this case in, I think it was Bradenburg v. Ohio, and it was this KKK member who was just got at a rally and he was saying all this stuff, and then someone sued him because it thought it was a violation of free speech, and long story, because he was saying the N-word and all that stuff, and all the people in my class were so like almost scared to say the N-word in class, and he was like, and so much so that instead of just saying the N-word, they said I think we changed it to green people or something like that. like I was like, and it was like, this is the professor, one of these professors who like will like, he's like really intense and he like, and all this stuff.
Green people.
But like, we changed the word, and I was like,
that's racist to aliens, damn it.
Did you assume their color?
Yes.
Oh.
Because I ain't a snowflake. That was funny. Considering with him just saying, did you assume my color? The other day in my American Federal Government class, we had to, the teacher gave us a proposal to say, like, okay, there's 2 stick figures on the board. One is a liberal, one's conservative. Now make them look how they are. And everybody's going up there with the liberal, putting up, like, pot in his hand. They drew red eyes because he smoked so much pot. He's got, like, a rainbow flag and shit, and all this other stuff that you think with the left and liberals. And he says, Dylan, I want you to come up here and write 3 and draw 3 things on this person. Now, me being the satire type of person that just doesn't give a shit in these classes because I like trolling people, I went up there. I had tattooed CNN on his forehead, and put a I Heart ISIS flag behind it, and a welfare check in his hand. And everybody in the class says, oh my God, you are horrible, you are a racist, you are a, like, all these stereotypes, like, you are a misogynistic person. I'm just like, I'm just putting out satire. Don't attack me. My feelings matter.
Also, it
was so funny just to watch, literally the entire class but me. Orlando, though. Orlando's on my side. The entire class just instantly attacked me, and Orlando's just like busting a gut, sitting in his chair, laughing his ass off. I'm like, that is a good teacher.
Also, it's racist on them to assume whatever about whether it's the welfare check or misogynistic. Like, they automatically jump to the conclusion of why it is this. So they already assume what you did and all that, yeah. Which is funny. It's ironic.
Then I put a speech bubble. Did you assume my gender? And that got a chuckle out of everybody because it was the first thing I put up there. And then the next 3 things were just like, oh no, oh my God, that's so awful.
I just sound like an old man trying to shit one out.
I've been shitting like 3 days.
No one needs to know that. I'm follow us on social media. Jay.
Let me do this.
Yeah.
He's having an autistic stroke over there.
I can't remember what the letters
Follow us on Twitter at JDBG Podcast. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/JDBG Podcast. Follow us on SoundCloud at Just Dudes Being Guys. iTunes at Just Dudes Being Guys. Please also, after hearing all these episodes, take our short survey that's on PodTrack. There's a link in the description. I'll put it in the comments and stuff. And please fill out that survey. Give some feedback. Tell some comments, what you liked, what you didn't like. Everything helps us build this show a little bit better. Give this a thumbs up on SoundCloud, Yelp. Post us up on Snapchat. Say you listen to us. Post that shit around.
Advertise for us on Neopets, please. That's a market we're trying to tap into right now.
And if you somehow can bring back Club Penguin and put us up as the headliner for the little concert area,
we'll advertise you every single episode.
Yes, we will. We have no problems with doing that. Yeah. But yeah, tell your mom, tell your grandma, not grandpa, or grandpa.
Your grandmapa.
Don't know why I'm telling. You just assumed.
I said grandmapa. That's like. It's like
grandmapa.
It's your tranny grandparent.
Oh, he's so trendy. He's with the times. I'm 80 years old. I gotta get this dick chopped off.
Okay, yeah.
But no, follow us on that stuff. Give us some comments. Give this kid a friendship every now and then on Facebook.
Yeah, and if you're on Leo, instead of filling out the survey, just tell us what you thought.
Yeah, and just come up to us, tell us.
And then go fill out the survey.
Thanks, guys, for listening to episode 8 of Just Dudes Being Gay.